Now let's try to follow on how we will solve this. So we'll start at this index. So this is our initial total -2. But since this is less than 0, we will reset our total from this to 0 because we know that negative value we can't really take. We go to the next element, and this is also negative. So again, our 0 will remain 0 here also. Similarly, here also this will be 0 itself. But now here at this index, we found a positive integer. So now our total becomes 3. Now we know that we can start from this index since we have a positive integer. So we move on to the next one, which is 3. So this becomes 6. But does this mean that we have to go back and start circular traverse? Technically, it's not, because we already know that sum of gas is less than sum of our cost. So with this we know that a solution exists, and from this statement right here, it's guaranteed that our solution will be unique. It's pretty safe to assume, since we started from here and there are no negative integer, that means there is a solution. I know that this may look a bit confusing, but once we translate this to code, it will be much clearer. And greedy problems are in general a bit tricky to figure out, and this question is pretty tricky in that sense. Now we are only iterating through this diff once. The time complexity will be big O of n, linear time complexity, and we won't be using any extra space, so space complexity would be big O of 1. Now let's see on how we can solve this. So firstly, let's check if the sum of gas is less than sum of cost. So we can make use of this reduce to take the total values of the gas, similarly for cost as well. And now we have our gas and cost. So if gas sum is less than cost sum, then we will return -1. If it's not, let's define some variables. So we will need our total, which will be 0 initially, and we'll be needing our result variable, which could also be 0. And we will start from I at 0 and go up until the length of gas. And here we will find the difference. So the difference was gas at I minus cost at I. So this is the difference, and we have to add this to our total. And one condition, which was if our total is less than 0, then we will reset back our total to 0 and increase rest by I plus 1, because that's not the starting index. And that's pretty much it for the solution. And we can return this rest. Yeah, if you still feel confused, I think greedy problems are this way. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. There is not much you can do here. So now let me run this code. It works. Let me submit this. Yep, it does work. I hope you found this video helpful. If yes, you can consider subscribing to the channel. And thank you so much for watching.